to Showcase Sunday, Mailbox Monday, and Stacking the Shelves for the weekend of May 14th. This is actually for my last 2 weeks of books. I did not do a posting last week. I got a few books for review this week. I bought a couple and then got some audiobooks as well. The first book I got for review, and I'm going to apologize because my printer is still out of black ink, and I will try to remember to get some more black ink. But I got the Spirit Glass Charade. This is by Colleen Gleason, and it is the second book in the Stoker and Holmes series. I'm trying to remember, I think this comes out in October. And this basically features Evelyn Stoker and Mina Holmes, and they're the descendant of Bram Stoker and Sherlock Holmes, and they solved a case in the last novel, and it's got kind of a steampunk theme to it. It wasn't a great book, but it was a good book. It was one of those ones that was really fast paced. It was an easy read. It was a fun read. Had a lot of interesting steampunk elements. So I'm excited to read the Spirit Glass Charade and see how it is. The second book I got to review is The Getaway God by Richard Kadrey, and this is the sixth book in the Sandman Slim series. And again, there's a lot of black on the cover, and I don't have black in my printer, so it doesn't look great. This comes out on August 26th. And I've been a huge fan of this series. It is a very violent and gritty urban fantasy series. So if you don't like violence, don't read this series. It's very, very violent. But it's been really, really well written and really interesting, very creative. Sandman Slim's half angel, basically, and at one point he was taking over for Lucifer in hell, and now he's back up on Earth, and they've just been very good. So this is the sixth book in that series, and I'm really looking forward to that one. That's probably, after the Dresden Files, that's probably my next favorite urban fantasy series right now. The third one I got for review is 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. And Claudia Gray wrote the Evernight series, which I thought was okay. I wasn't a huge fan of it. However, the synopsis for this one sounds really, really intriguing. Basically, it's about a girl whose parents invent something called the Firebird that allows travel between parallel dimensions. And when, I think it's one of her parents gets murdered, one of their coworkers flees to another dimension. And the main character ends up running through all these different parallel dimensions trying to find him. So it sounds really interesting. This one doesn't come out for quite a while. It comes out on November 7th. So I'm really interested to see how it is. The Evernight series was a little bit slow moving for me, a little bit very typical vampire young adult thing. This sounds completely different. And so I do like Claudia Gray's writing style. I'm hoping that I will really enjoy this. All right, so on to books I bought. I did buy a couple books this week as well. I bought The Long Road Home, as you can see from Half Price Books. And this is the second graphic novel for the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. I did read the novels for Dark Tower and enjoyed them. I have read Gunslinger Born, and I enjoyed that, which is the first graphic novel. So I was eager to get this, and I love the illustration in these, and it's just a really good story. I keep having to turn away. The way we have my desk now at home, it's facing the window, so I have to put it at a really good angle so we're not getting backlight and whatever, so I have to reach over. Anyways, not that you care. The other book that I bought, because I always buy these in hardcover, that is my favorite urban fantasy series, is Skin Game by Jim Butcher. This is I don't know, maybe the 12th book or something. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15th book in this series. Every single one of these books, except for maybe the first two in the series, which were not as good, have been spectacular. And this is the only series I have been reading that has run that long and has been that good. So I was really excited to get it. I'm kind of weird about these books. I want to buy them right away, but then I don't want to read it because I know I'm going to have to wait a whole nother year to read it. So I tend to buy them in hardcover and hang on to them for a few months before I read it, which I know is really weird. But anyways, I'm really excited to read this. And seriously, I was just on Goodreads, and it's got 4.8 out of 5 from thousands of people. So it sounds like it's a really good installment in this series. It just continues to get better and better. All right, and then I did swap one book. A book I swapped is by, I am going to murder this name, Zoraida Cordova. I think, and that's The Vicious Deep, which is the first book in this trilogy, I believe. Sorry, I have like cat hair in my mouth. I don't know why, but this whole series has been getting kind of mediocre reviews from people. It's just something that I keep reading the synopsis and I keep thinking, gosh, I really want to read that. So it's, I don't know, it's about a guy who gets like sucked out to sea, and I don't know. It involves ancient sea god. My cats are fighting back there. Anyways, it involves like ancient sea gods and all this interesting stuff. And every time I read the synopsis, I'm like, I want to read that. And so I've had it on my wish list on Paperback Swap, and so my wish finally got granted. And it is a absolutely stunningly beautiful copy that I got swapped on there. So I don't know if the person even read it before they swapped it, but it's a good copy. So then I did get 3 audiobooks, which I always do this. I run out of audiobooks because I listen to them during my commute, and then I go online and I can't just buy one. I have to buy like 3 of them. But Amazon has this really interesting deal now. If you buy the Kindle book, you get the audiobook for $1.99. So this book, which I had been looking for audiobook, which is Lady of Devices by Shelley Adina, and this is the first book in the Magnificent Devices series. It's a shorter book. The audiobook's only 5 hours. But this was actually free on Kindle, so I went and I bought the Kindle book for free, and then I got the audiobook for $1.99. So you can't really beat that. All I know about this is supposed to be a really good steampunk adventure type of book, and I do believe there's some romance in it as well, and I'm excited to read this. I mean, I love steampunk books, so I'm always looking for something new and good, and people seem to really like this series, so we'll see how that is. The other audiobook, which I actually started listening today, that I did not get a good deal on, I used one of my Audible credits for, is Toxic Heart by Theo Lawrence. Theo Lawrence wrote Mystic City, and I adored Mystic City. It was like this really cool, like post-apocalyptic world, but people could use this really interesting magic. So it was this kind of very unique blend of those things. I love that book. I'm listening to this one, and I don't know if it's because it's on audiobook and the narrator's not very good, or because I just don't really like it, but I'm not really digging it right now. So I don't know, we'll see. But anyways, this is Toxic Heart. This is the second book in the Mystic City series. It is going to be a trilogy, so there's one more book coming out next year. So we'll see what about that. And then the last one I got, and this was another weird, like, buy it on Kindle, get the audiobook. The audiobook for this was only like $7, but if you bought it on Kindle for $2.99, you could get the audiobook for $1.99. So, you know. And this is Seanan McGuire's book, Indexing. And I believe this was released as installments on her website. So anyways, it's an urban fairy tale is how it's been coined. And I'm just really excited to read. I love everything by Seanan McGuire. I just finished Sparrow Hill Road on audiobook. I really enjoyed it. So I wanted to read Indexing, and I basically got the audiobook and the Kindle book for like $5, so you just can't beat that. So if you are a Seanan McGuire fan, go check out. I mean, the Kindle book's like $2.99 right now, and then the audiobook is $1.99 if you buy the Kindle book. So it's a really great deal. Enough about that. Like, you wanted to know about great Kindle deals and great audiobook deals, but if you did, now you do. And that is what I got. So, you know, I always forget to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 books over the last 2 weeks. That's actually not too bad. I can keep up with that rate. And that's all I really got to say. You know, I have to comment on the weather because it's Minnesota. So we had some pretty hot weather. It was actually in the upper 80s, almost 90 a couple days. And now today the high is like 68, and it's really windy and cool. It feels like fall. So, you know, we're doing the normal up and down thing that we like to do all year long. Other than that, my son is out of school, so it's officially like summer break. He had his last day of school this Wednesday, so that kind of changes things for us. We're going into our summer schedule now and dealing with all of that. Aside from that, I hope you guys got lots of great books and that you have a great week of reading, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.